70% of DevOps engineers won't exist in 5 years. They'll either be platform engineers or unemployed.
Unemployed? Are you saying DevOps is becoming obsolete? So we're breaking down the mindset shift, the skills gap, and how to actually make this transition?
By minute 4, you'll know exactly which skills to learn first. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Platform Engineering Playbook Daily Podcast. Today's news and a deep dive to help you stay ahead in platform engineering.
Today, we're diving into From DevOps to Platform Engineer, Navigating Your Career Journey.
Stick around to the end for this week's headlines. Let's dive right in.
So let's talk about this massive shift happening right now. DevOps professionals transitioning into platform engineering roles. We're seeing this everywhere, and it's not just a title change. This represents a fundamental evolution in how we think about infrastructure and developer enablement.
Right. And what strikes me is how many DevOps engineers I know are suddenly getting recruited for platform engineering positions. The demand is absolutely insane right now.
The numbers back that up. According to the State of Platform Engineering report, 93% of top-performing organizations now have dedicated platform teams. But here's the kicker. 62% are struggling to find qualified platform engineers. That's a massive talent gap.
And it makes sense when you think about it. We spent the last decade building up this army of DevOps engineers who understand infrastructure automation, CI/CD, cloud architecture, but now we need them to think differently.
Exactly. And here's what I find fascinating. Platform engineering isn't about abandoning your DevOps expertise, it's about elevating it. Instead of managing production systems directly, you're building the platforms and golden paths that empower every other developer to do so safely and efficiently.
So walk me through this mindset shift. Because I know a lot of DevOps engineers who are like, wait, am I not supposed to be hands-on with infrastructure anymore?
It's a great question. In traditional DevOps, you're often in reactive mode, responding to tickets, fixing production issues, helping teams deploy. In platform engineering, you become proactive. You're designing experiences. Your internal customers are developers, and like any users, they have pain points, preferences, and goals.
Oh, that's a huge shift. So you're essentially becoming a product manager for internal tools.
Not just a product manager, you're the full product team. You're conducting developer interviews, mapping their SDLC pain points, defining MVPs that solve real adoption blockers. You're building golden paths that abstract complexity but preserve autonomy. And critically, you're measuring success through developer experience metrics and actual business impact.
That's fascinating because it requires this whole different skill set. Technical depth is table stakes, but now you need user empathy and product thinking.
And here's why this matters so much. The DevOps movement promised that teams could build it and run it end to end. But what actually happened? Most engineers spent more time configuring tools than shipping features. The complexity of Kubernetes, Terraform, Helm, and a dozen other systems introduced friction, not freedom.
Yeah, I've seen this firsthand. Teams drowning in YAML files, spending weeks just to get a simple service deployed.
Platform engineering evolved specifically to solve that problem, and the timing couldn't be better for professionals looking to make this transition. Gartner predicts that by 2028, 85% of organizations with platform teams will provide developer portals, up from 60% today. That's massive growth.
Coming up, we'll dig into exactly what skills you need to develop to make this transition successfully.
So let's get into the meat of this. What does it actually take to transition from DevOps to platform engineering? Because it's not just about learning new tools.
Right. And I imagine a lot of the technical foundation transfers over.
Absolutely. Your infrastructure as code knowledge, your understanding of cloud architecture, your CI/CD expertise, all of that is foundational. But now you need to expand into what I call platform orchestration and self-service.
Break that down for me.
Sure. So you already understand infrastructure as code, right? Now you're expanding into policy-driven configuration management. You're building self-service workflows that enforce compliance, cost, and security automatically. Think about it. Instead of manually reviewing every Terraform plan, you're building the guardrails that let developers provision resources safely on their own.
So it's like moving from being the gatekeeper to being the enabler.
Exactly. And here's a concrete example. At Spotify, their platform team built something called Backstage. It's now open source. Instead of developers filing tickets to get a new microservice set up, they go to a portal, click Create New Service, and boom, Git repo created, CI/CD pipelines configured, monitoring set up, everything. That's platform engineering in action.
And how long does something like that take to build?
That's where it gets interesting. The initial MVP, you could have something basic running in a few weeks. But here's the thing. Platform engineering is iterative. You start with the highest pain workflows. Maybe that's standardizing how services get deployed. Then you add self-service database provisioning. Then you integrate security scanning. Each iteration makes the platform more powerful.
And what about the technical skills? What's new that DevOps folks need to learn?
3 big areas. First, developer portals and golden paths. You need to understand how to structure service catalogs, create templates, build plugins that actually streamline workflows. This isn't just about the tech, it's about information architecture and user experience design.
That's a big shift from traditional ops work.
Huge shift. Second area, AI and observability integration. The next generation of platform engineers are enabling AI-driven workloads, implementing observability automation, managing LLM deployments. You're not just supporting traditional microservices anymore.
That sounds like a lot to learn.
It is, but here's the thing. You don't need to be an AI expert. You need to understand how to provide the infrastructure and guardrails for AI workloads. Think about it. How do you handle GPU allocation? How do you manage model versioning? How do you ensure data privacy when developers are experimenting with LLMs?
And the third area?
Security integration, but not in the traditional sense. You're building security into the platform itself. Vulnerability scanning happens automatically, compliance checks are built into the deployment pipeline, secret management is abstracted away. You're making security invisible, but omnipresent.
This is where those platform engineering certifications come in, right?
Exactly. The Platform Engineering Certified Practitioner course was designed specifically for this transition. In 5 weeks, you're mastering platform design fundamentals, building your first internal developer platform hands-on, learning how to define and implement golden paths. But more importantly, you're connecting with a global community of engineers on the same journey.
And what about the organizational side? How to team them structure these platform teams?
Great question. The most successful implementations I've seen follow a product model. You have a platform product manager, platform engineers, and critically, developer advocates or evangelists. Because adoption is everything. You can build the best platform in the world, but if developers don't use it, you've failed.
And I imagine measuring success is different too.
Completely different. In DevOps, you might measure uptime, deployment frequency, MTTR. In platform engineering, you're measuring developer satisfaction scores, time to first deployment for new services, platform adoption rates. Some teams even measure lines of YAML eliminated. That's a real metric I've seen.
That's brilliant. Stick around. We'll give you the exact roadmap for making this career transition.
All right, let's get practical. You're a DevOps engineer, you see the opportunity in platform engineering. How do you actually make this transition?
Yeah, because it's not like you can just update your LinkedIn title and call it a day.
Definitely not. Here's the roadmap I recommend. First, start where you are. Begin thinking like a platform engineer in your current role. When you get that next infrastructure request, ask yourself, how could I make this self-service? What patterns am I seeing repeatedly?
So you're essentially doing platform engineering reconnaissance.
Exactly. Document those patterns. Start building small automations. Maybe it's a script that provisions development environments. Maybe it's a Terraform module that enforces your security standards. These become the building blocks of your future platform.
What about the product thinking side? That seems harder to practice in a traditional DevOps role.
Great point. Here's what I tell people. Start conducting informal developer interviews. Grab coffee with the engineering teams you support. Ask them about their pain points. What takes too long? What's confusing? What did they wish was automated? Document these conversations. You're building your product sense.
And I imagine showcasing this thinking is important for landing that first platform engineering role.
Critical. When you're interviewing, you want to demonstrate three things. First, technical depth. You understand the infrastructure stack. Second, systems thinking. You see how all the pieces fit together. Third, and this is what sets you apart, user empathy. You understand developer pain and can articulate how you'd solve it.
Any specific projects that look good on a resume?
Absolutely. Build a proof of concept developer portal. Doesn't have to be production ready. Use Backstage or Port or even just a simple web app. Show that you can create self-service workflows. Include metrics. Reduced new service setup time from 2 days to 10 minutes. That's the kind of impact that gets attention.
What about certifications? Are they worth it?
In this field, absolutely. Platform engineering is so new that formal certifications carry weight. They show you're serious about the transition and have structured knowledge. The Platform Engineering Certified Practitioner course, for example, gives you hands-on experience building an IDP. That's directly applicable to job interviews.
And once you land that platform engineering role, what should you focus on first?
Listen before you build. I've seen too many platform engineers come in guns blazing, building what they think developers need. Spend your first month just listening. Shadow developers. Watch them work. Feel their pain. Then identify one high-impact problem you can solve quickly. Build trust with a quick win before tackling bigger platform initiatives.
That's smart. Build credibility first.
Exactly. And here's something else. Connect with the platform engineering community. This field is evolving so fast that community learning is essential. Join the platform engineering Slack, attend meetups, follow thought leaders. The patterns and anti-patterns are still being discovered.
Looking ahead, where do you see platform engineering going?
We're just scratching the surface. I think we'll see platform engineering expand beyond infrastructure into the entire developer experience. Imagine platforms that don't just provision resources, but actively suggest optimizations, automatically refactor code for better performance, even generate entire service scaffolds based on natural language descriptions.
So platform engineers will need to keep evolving too.
Constantly. But here's the thing. If you make this transition now, you're positioning yourself at the forefront of this evolution. You're not just riding the wave, you're helping to shape it. The shift from DevOps to platform engineering isn't just a career move, it's a chance to fundamentally improve how software gets built.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Making developers' lives better, making companies more efficient, and ultimately delivering better software to users.
Exactly. So here's my challenge to everyone listening. Take one action this week. Maybe it's scheduling coffee with a developer to understand their pain points. Maybe it's automating one repetitive task. Maybe it's signing up for that certification course. But take that first step, because the transition from DevOps to platform engineering isn't just about changing your title. It's about evolving your impact. Before we wrap up, let's catch up on this week's infrastructure news. There's a fascinating new development in the cloud infrastructure space. Railway just secured a massive $100 million in Series B funding, and they're positioning themselves as a direct challenger to AWS with what they're calling AI-native cloud infrastructure.
AI native? That's a bold claim. What exactly makes them different from the established players?
According to VentureBeat's report, they're focusing on faster deployment times and infrastructure specifically optimized for AI workloads. They're betting that legacy cloud providers like AWS aren't moving fast enough to meet the unique demands of AI applications.
That's a huge mountain to climb, though. AWS has such a massive head start and ecosystem advantage.
Speaking of ecosystem changes, GitHub Actions just made their 1 vCPU Linux runners generally available. This is actually a pretty significant cost optimization opportunity for platform teams.
Oh, that's interesting. So teams can now run lighter workloads without paying for resources they don't need?
Exactly. The GitHub blog mentions these are perfect for automation tasks, issue operations, and short-running jobs. They're using containers with hypervisor isolation, so you still get the security benefits, but at a lower cost point.
Now here's something that's been bothering me. Have you seen what's happening over on the r/Kubernetes subreddit?
The AI-generated content flood? Yeah, users are reporting that the subreddit is getting overwhelmed with what they're calling AI slop projects, basically low-effort generated content that's drowning out meaningful community discussions.
It's becoming a real problem across technical communities. When every tutorial and project showcase might be AI generated, how do you find the genuine insights from practitioners?
It really undermines the whole point of community-driven knowledge sharing. Speaking of real practitioner content, though, Red Hat developers just published a detailed guide on monitoring OpenStack and OpenShift together.
Oh, unified observability for both platforms?
They're introducing the telemetry operator for Red Hat OpenStack services on OpenShift. The article walks through setting up comprehensive monitoring across both environments, which is crucial for teams running hybrid infrastructure.
That's exactly the kind of practical content we need more of, real solutions to complex platform engineering challenges.
That wraps up this week's news. That's our show for today.
If you found this valuable, please subscribe and share with a friend who'd appreciate it.
Drop us a comment with your thoughts on today's topic.
Links to everything we discussed are in the show notes.
And check out platformengineeringplaybook.com for more resources and guides. Until next time.